Again, there's always that caveat. Every time you say to somebody, you can talk to me about whatever you want and it won't leave the room. For a lot of folks like teachers and pastors, there's always a caveat of, if you're going to tell me that you abuse somebody or you're going to go hurt somebody, I really need to speak up. So, I think it bodes well for us if we do the same. Again, legally you're not responsible to, but I think ethically, morally, I would really feel a whole lot better if we were protecting kids than making people feel comfortable in our group. I hate to hack out that for something else, but in that situation, I think we're going to need to. So keep that in mind. If it gets up over your head, go to that person's district elder, and you can find that list typically in our bulletin. It is on the back of it, actually. Okay, it's there, and it's based on the church directory. So grab your church directory, look at the list, and if you were to go to the deacon list for Paul, you would see, I don't know, who's your section?
V's.
The V's. So it would be VA through VANDER, VA through Vander, so you'd look through that chunk of the directory, and those are the people all responsible, that deacon and or elder are responsible for. Okay. And then, of course, probably up and above that is pastors, but that's sort of related to the elders and deacons. And the benefit of that is we integrate, churches like Willow Creek would have another layer of like coaches and things like that. And what we're trying to do is, in order to keep what we do, is integrate who we already are. We have elders and deacons, and I think right now the people that are on are very passionate. And we've had a good long history of doing things like family visiting and elders being very involved in the ministry to the people in the church. What small groups does is it helps to take the day-to-day caring of people off the shoulders of the elders who they can't be there for absolutely everything that goes on in someone's life, especially when your elder district is, how many people in a district? 50-ish? Something like that?
Closer to 30. Probably.
30? But that's span of care. What they talk span of care is a term. How many people can one person take care of well? And a good span of care is about 10 people. And so that's why we aim for about 10 people in each group. Each group leader is able to keep an eye on and help 10 people. It takes the day-to-day away from the elders, but at the same time, it keeps them very involved. They're still going to do family visiting. They will still be available for people to talk to. But, as an elder, I don't know. From what I hear, people don't typically come to their elders with things unless it's a complaint or it's really big. Does that hold true, or do you tend to get a little more?
No, I think we have a neat set of guys on. If we don't hear from someone and we hear that they might be, down and out and need it, they will come to them. We will come to
absolutely.
them too, or call them. So feel free, let's get this phobia out of the way that you can't call your elder or something, because they actually, I think Norm can attest to this, they actually are very interested to help. Mm-hmm. They take that very seriously. So.
Yep. And so what we're trying to do is provide you both access to your elder and deacon, and at the same time, if you just have day-to-day stuff that you feel more comfortable with your friends in your group, we get both levels involved and integrated well. So I think this is going to work well, having them involved at the level of, I don't want to say crisis level, but to have that in the system so that if something does come to that, they can help out at that level. So span of care definitely is a big benefit to what we're looking at here. The other big benefit is that it provides us a means of plugging in new folks to the church. That's our second major benefit, is that if people come to a church and they don't feel like they're being cared for, not that someone is there to change their oil while the service is going. And there's a video on, I don't know if it's on YouTube or one of those things, those Christian videos people put together. But there was one of them called Me Church. And it's people giving testimonies. I love me church. It's all about me. So they go there, and there's an oil changing ministry. So you go inside, and someone's there changing your oil during the service. So your car is lubed and ready to go when you come back out. And somebody was talking about how great it was that the church bought them Super Bowl tickets and just stuff like that. So we're not looking to do that. I mean, we're not getting ridiculous here, but we want to make sure that people know that we want to care for them and take care of them. And if that doesn't happen, people will see that. They know that. They sense it, even if they don't, in the front of their minds, realize that that's what they're looking for. And eventually, you're going to see those people trickle away. And I think we've seen some of that lately. We haven't had a lot of new people coming that I'm aware of anyway, but I think we've seen examples of people coming for one reason or another, and then we sort of over time, their attendance sort of peters out, and then we don't see them again. And this, if we set this up well, it gives us a place to plug people into a group of folks who know that we are looking out for Joe or Pete or Susie, whoever, Joe the plumber. So he wouldn't need Barack Obama if he was coming to our church. So that's the second benefit. So are there any questions, comments about the organization that we're kind of looking at? Groups, leaders, small group servants, and then elders and deacons and pastor on the other side. Questions, comments, thoughts? Silence.
I mean, it's a great philosophy. It really is.
Either means you like it or you're totally lost. Silence.
Well, I'm thinking of somebody that was in our group who went through a divorce. And I think she got both of those types of care. Mm-hmm. She had, elders and the pastor who worked with her and helped her. But she also had these group of more friend-type people to help with just, somebody to, to cry on somebody's shoulder. You're going to maybe do that a little bit better with a friend, a woman who's your own age than your elder. So I think,
And frankly, for church leadership's sake, there's only so much help that a group of guys can give to women, because either you keep a distance for safety's sake, or you get close enough that it's too close and it just gets uncomfortable or inappropriate if it goes that far. So this helps us to care for folks in ways that they need to be cared for without having to strain to make unnatural relationships through church leadership and that kind of thing. So, any other thoughts, comments?